So a recent trending topic on Twitter has influenced the focus of our current affairs conversation this morning, dying to get livable wages. Here to help us add some context to the issue is the economist and senator, a good friend, Dr. Andre Horton, who's also a senior lecturer at the University of the West Indies, attorney at law and radio host, our colleague Jody Quarry, and general secretary of the Union of Technical, Administrative and Supervisory Personnel, St. Patrice Ennis. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man, it's our pleasure. I want to start with Andre, Dr. Horton, my friend.
Senator Horton.
Senator Dr. Horton. Boy, we hear about minimum wages. We hear about you lecture at the University of the West Indies, and it's a big conversation about young people leaving university, can't get a job or can't get the job that they want, can't get the salary that they want. What are your thoughts regarding that?
Well, morning, Neville. Good morning to the other guests and the listeners. Look, we understand that Jamaica is what we call a lower middle income country. And what that means that the level of income that we earn on an average on an annual, monthly or weekly basis is lower middle income. Now, within the country itself, there are different income brackets. Now, what we have gone ahead and done is to calculate the minimum amount that it will require for the average Jamaican to survive per month. So we have a rent basket ranging from anywhere between 5,000 to 150,000. So we selected a rent amount of just $15,000. We assume that people spend $500 per day on food, which is very, very meager, assuming that the poverty line based on the United Nations numbers is that you survive on $1.90 US or $2 a day. $2 US a day would be anywhere between, say, 260 to 280 Jamaican dollars. So we assume that the average family at the minimum bound survives on $500 worth of food per day. Remember that a pound of chicken back is $140. So if you're going to buy 2 pounds of chicken back, it's $280 plus a pound of rice, bring it on $300. And get a little sachet of Maggi seasoning. The electricity bill $3,000, minimal water $2,000, phone $1,000. If you have children to send to school, you have a girlfriend to send to the hairdresser, whatever the case may be. You have health issues. So we put a miscellaneous for $10,000. So we come up with a figure of 50,000 Jamaican dollars as the minimum amount that you would need to survive. If you juxtapose that with the minimum wage of $7,000, then you will only earning $28,000 at that minimum bound, while you have expenditure of $50,000. So the average Jamaican at the lower bound, the people who are earning the least, have expenses of $50,000 per month, the minimum, but they're only earning $28,000. This provides a difference of $22,000 that they have to find somewhere through what is known in Jamaica as the side hustle. Mm-hmm. Now, everyone or most people in Jamaica speaks about getting a side hustle. And it is important for us to understand this because the regular income stream has not been enough. We're talking about security guards who earn $9,700. Their monthly salary is about $39,000. They still have a $11,000 deficit. So they need 5 weeks income in order to pay for 4 weeks expenditure. No wonder many of our security guards work double shifts. If we're going to compare degree levels, like earning levels, in America, if you have a diploma, you're paid about $37 per year. In Jamaica, it's about $4,000. If you have a certificate, you're paid $39,000 in the US per annum. In Jamaica, you're paid only $8,000 US.
Wow.
If you have an associate degree in the US, you're paid $43,000. In Jamaica, you're earning about $9,000 US. And if you have a degree from the university in the United States, at the minimum bound, you're earning about $60,000 US dollars. But in Jamaica, you're earning only $11,000.
Okay,
so there's a big disparity.
Big disparity.
Where we are and where we need to go.
Yeah, Dr. Horton, big disparity. And it's going to be a long conversation to work out how we get there and how do we now build our economy so that we can receive that kind of payment. You know, but I want to go to Jody Ann because there's a big misconception about media personnel media practitioners and lawyers and the amount of money we make. I want you to help me to clarify that, Jody and Corey. What is going on? Are we being paid? Well, if you want to compare what media executives get in California to what we get here, then we know it's the same situation that Dr. Houghton has just shared. But tell me, what are the misconceptions that people have about lawyers and media practitioners and our pay grade?
Lawyers and media practitioners in particular are public-facing individuals, and we just have a societal idea that those who face the public get more to face the public. Those two particular brackets of people, therefore, because they have high visibility, impress people, do work that they can see, and so they assume that their salaries are in line with what in their heads would be a fair and competitive salary. Think of it this way. Like any other profession, there's a wide bracket of variation. But if nothing else, COVID-19 has exposed how many people are not making as much money as we thought they were. So law firms only a few months ago, at the very beginning of COVID, send associates home and send also paralegals and whole sets of individuals in the legal profession home because the firms could no longer afford to keep them. Practitioners in media as well had realized that while there were opportunities to make what Dr. Hutt called the side hustle, so they could increase their income. So when those opportunities were no longer available to them, they were unable to make up what was their monthly spend, and therefore that led them to problems, leading people then to have questions, not only in these two professions, but in others. How do you make it in Jamaica if you don't want to live on the very meager existence that Dr. Houghton explained, but you want to have a decent standard of living? That is, you want to have an apartment that may not be able to cost $15,000, and you want to be able to eat some food if you don't just want to eat $500 a day, and that's a more difficult question.
Let me ask you, anyone can take this question because you've raised a very important point about savings and for financial security. Even though we're making a real meager salary, how do we survive through a next pandemic if it was to happen? Right? Any one of you, the economists, Patrice, anybody?
I can start, Empress. Well, first of all, nothing is too small to share. And remember that your income, you're sharing it between your consumption and your savings. Because when you have an income, you can do two things, either consume or save. The minimum here is that when countries operate in an international marketplace, they're expected to have what we call 3 months in their net international reserves. So if a country falls into crisis, it must have in its foreign currency amount enough money to buy 3 months worth of goods. Now, that's 12 weeks. We realized that immediately as the COVID crisis hit us, many people were unable to buy food within a week, 2 weeks. So that is showing us that the type of economy that we're running is not creating value. And that is the point of this morning's conversation, is how does Jamaica create value? Because we have been running this economy where we put out a lot of effort because Jamaica people work really hard. But the reward that we're getting is not forthcoming. So you will have someone, for example, who says, all right, we want to get things done, but how do we? So we have to find industries that we put out small amount of effort. For example, Silicon Valley in the United States, the Internet of Things, the fourth industrial revolution, these are now providing opportunities for us really to expand and globalize. If you look at the jacket that I'm wearing, it was made in Jamaica. It's made by a scarce commodity, but it looks Italian. It looks expensive. These are the things that we want to do. We want to create value. So Jamaica must be able to create value. My father had a conversation with Dr. Peter Phillips over the weekend, and he told him that the only way that Jamaica can move forward is if it gives the little man the opportunity to explore cannabis research. Not the University of the West Indies, not Canada Global, not Henry Lowe only, not the companies from Canada only, but the little old lady from Westmoreland who has been making ganja rubbings for 30 years. The little old man from Granville who has been making ganja soap for 20 years. The little man from Manchester who has been making ganja lotion for 15 years. They want the opportunity to create value and to participate in the global business of commerce. So the idea here is that what we have been producing as a country has stuck us in a Jack and Jill type economy where we put out a lot of effort, but there is no reward. While we need beanstalks, and these beanstalks, when planted, will grow huge and provide prosperity for all of Jamaica.
All right,
so the idea here is changing our frame of mind and looking at how we can create value and empower our people to create value as well.
All right, Andre, I want to bring in Mr. Ennis, who has been sitting quite patiently waiting for us here. Morning again, Mr. Ennis. The role of the union in all of this, we keep hearing about contract workers, and I think the union is not too happy about the many contract workers. But what kind of role would the union have in all of this in trying to get companies to understand that you have to kind of pay people what they deserve?
Yes, that is true, but the unions play different roles. That is establishing in different sectors what are they in negotiations or through bargaining with the employers, come to an understanding of what is a reasonable wage that both sides can live with. But I think what we're talking about this morning is what is really a livable wage, more so than what obtains in sectors that are represented by unions. Because in those sectors, mainly to the collective bargaining process, and the employers are able to reach a level of income that is generally higher than what obtains from the society. But where we do have the problems is those that are normally addressed by the minimum wage, like Andre spoke earlier about in the security guard industry, the domestic helpers, persons who work in the haberdasheries and so on, and those sectors. That is where we now find many of the workers might not be able to live a standard of living that we may see, a decent standard of living, or even by our own standard, what is supposed to be acceptable, decent living or decent wage standard. And that is where we now have a little thing going between what is a minimum wage and what is a livable wage.
But who decides, Mr. Ennis, what is a livable wage? I mean, I have things that I want to do. Maybe Empress want to do something different. Maybe somebody else don't want to do what we are doing. How can you tell a company, I want $1 million a week, I can't get that? Who decides what is a livable wage for me? Who decides that?
Well, there are international standards, and they are quite correct. And that is why in Jamaica to date, we have not used livable wage standards, because there's no general agreement in terms of what is a livable wage here. And it may even varies in region. What we do use a lot is to determine what is our poverty line and make sure, or try to make sure that people stay above the poverty line. But let me not conflate the issues. Being above the poverty line does not necessarily equate to having a livable wage.
Final question from me. Are the unions happy with our, what do you call it? Not the livable wage.
The wages?
Yeah, what do you call it?
The wages of their...
Yeah, are the unions happy with what people are making in Jamaica?
Right.
In some sectors, we could say that persons are fairly compensated, but generally speaking, Jamaican workers are paid less. If you look at the teachers, if you look at our police and so on, generally they are paid in the government sector. Generally, they are paid even less than what obtains in the other Caribbean communities. And if I ask you the same question, you don't have to answer me. Most people will say, no, they deserve more.
What I want, the word I was looking for was minimum wage. Are you happy with the minimum wage, which is what I wanted? Okay. But we're out of time.
We're slated for an increase this year.
Okay. All right.
All right. Unfortunately, we do have to wrap this interview.
Yeah.
There's so many questions I
Yeah,
wanted to
have to
ask
go.
you all, but yeah, that's what happens. So thank you all for joining us. May we produce more. And, you know, for all of you, we are all... Well, hold on. Did he change his shirt? Dr. Houghton changed his shirt in the middle of the interview?
Yeah, man. Is that star, man?
Freedom.
Is that star?
I want to do that.
All right, Dr.
I love it.
Senator Dr. Andre Houghton, economist and senior lecturer at UWI, attorney at law, radio host Jodian Quarry, and General Secretary of the Union of Technical, Administrative and Supervisory Personnel, St. Patrice Ennis. Thank you all very, very much.
Yeah. You know, Neville, that's why I'm growing in my backyard, because I now buy callaloo again. I now buy pak choy. I now buy pumpkin, and I now buy watermelon.
Where you live?
In a house.
Weird. Weird.
I'll bring you something. When we come back, things to consider about this airborne thing. Stay with us.